I have been selling this book, Zanazli and Wan Chun Hong's Guide to Indie Filmmaking, which is published by MPH for a while now. It's a really good book if you want to be a filmmaker, whether it's for YouTube, social media, TV, film, cinema, whatever. This is the book to get. I'm going to make it more accessible and more affordable to all of you because I believe that everybody needs to become a filmmaker. The more filmmakers we have in the world, I think this world will be a better place to live in. Now it's available as an electronic book download on my website. I'm going to link it here. It's really cheap, it's really affordable. It's only 5 ringgit if you want to get the ebook version. Okay, 5 ringgit. It doesn't really cost much, right? It's just a little bit of something for me. I mean, it did take a lot of work to write. Each chapter of this book talks about one part of the filmmaking process. And for each chapter as well, I interview a local filmmaker. It's only 5 ringgit. It's only 5 ringgit. You're watching and listening to the FAT BIDIN Film Club. I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
And I'm Shawib.
As usual, every week we watch a local movie and we review it. And this week we're watching a local movie, we're reviewing it, and the movie is called
ABAH Saya, Uncle Mike.
Okay. Alright, so we watch Abah Aku Uncle Mike.
ABAH Saya.
Abah Saya.
Don't be so rude.
No, I'm Saban.
No, you're not. Okay, anyway.
What's this film about?
It's about... Oh.
What's this film about?
This film is about this Chinese boy, man, named Mike, who runs a printing shop. Which is, if you think about it, so interesting in this, well, I guess it's not in this day and age, this is like 20 years ago, so it makes sense to still run a printing shop. But okay, anyway.
No, this was a long time ago.
Yeah lah, so I said, okay lah, 20 years ago, it makes sense that he runs a printing shop. So he's just starting this like printing shop business, and then he stumbles onto this boy, and this boy wants to rent like this room that he has. But this boy is like clearly very naive.
And also young lah, so he's like, really this fella.
Yeah, so it turns out that this boy is like the oldest of 3 boys who live in a orphanage, but it's like one of those
evil orphanages that abuse them.
Yeah.
Like beat them and
lock them
up inside like storeroom and separate them and like
so it's like damn bad lah. Anyway, yeah. So okay, so eventually, this Mike somehow finds himself taking in this first boy and eventually taking in
all three
boys. And the story is about that lah.
It's based on a true story. I think everybody knows. I think last year or several years ago, this Chinese guy, Mike, who won the Toko Ma'al Hijrah, you know.
Correct.
Because of that, he was raising 3 Malay Muslim boys, orphans, as his own, even though he wasn't Muslim. And like, it's a very famous, popular story lah that has been covered in the media a lot lah. So they eventually made a film about it. So basically, that's it lah. Okay. Okay. So what do we think about the film? I think first of all, Moose is one of the people who produced and write the story. It's directed by a first-time director. This guy who
it's Ghazali.
Yeah, I mean he was like directing like TV shows and dramas and all that. And then eventually, like, this is according to what I read lah. Astro said, okay, we'll give you a chance to direct your feature. And then this was the story that he directed lah. Yeah.
What do we think about the film? It's a very... I mean, yeah, it's based on a true story and it's obviously dramatized, but I thought it was done very well. It was very warm, painful, and for the most part, still quite realistic of how not utopian these kind of arrangements can be lah. Because you know, it's not a case of like, oh, I decided to take them in, then suddenly it all works out, everybody understands. They really show the kind of sacrifices this guy had to make to help these boys. And they also show that the relationship is not like a straight off the bat immediately
I'm your
okay
father,
already,
your children,
just
all that.
because I take you in, then you immediately accept it. It's not like that.
It takes a while for the kids to accept him.
Correct.
It wasn't too difficult for him to accept them though.
So I thought it was very heart-wrenching actually. A lot of it was very painful to watch lah. I mean, even though yes, you know it's dramatized, but you also know that these kind of things can happen, do happen in real life lah. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, one of the things that really like struck me was the character that Quinoa plays, which is Uncle Mike's father. So he plays like this really conservative, conventional Chinese man, you know, very unhappy with his son all the time because his son never follow in his footsteps, never asks him for opinion. So he's constantly criticizing his son. And then when his son brings back this Malay boy and subsequently these other two Malay boys,
he feels that all Malay boys are thieves.
Constantly just berating the son, but very passive aggressively, you know. And then he does all these passive aggressive things, and he says lah like all these things about these boys, which when you watch it, you're gonna be like, oh, you know, this is like so harsh for sure, like this is just a dramatization or whatever. But it's not. It's true. There are people out there, regardless of race, who do think these things about people of other races. And for you to bring someone who doesn't look like you, doesn't speak your language, into your family and accept them is not necessarily as easy as it's made out to be, especially if there is a difference in religion. Mostly when it's the case of Muslim versus non-Muslim lah, because you know the other religions, I don't know, maybe they feel like it's a little bit more fluid or whatever, but when you're Muslim you have to be not necessarily devout, but there are certain things that you really need to do lah. So that was one of the things that Quinoa's character really like criticized in this film. Like, you are never going to be their father because what are you going to do? You're going to convert, is it? You're going to become Muslim, is it? And I thought that was really a very, very real representation of what the reality can be lah. Maybe sometimes not paternally or whatever, but even romantically or just in any situation, it can sometimes play out that way. So it was not to say not an easy watch, because it is still made for the mainstream. So it's not like super difficult to follow or
very easy,
anything, but
very accessible.
it was just very feeling lah, super feeling lah.
You don't need to think to appreciate the film lah, but it does also kind of, if you want, it can also provoke you to think lah. Like, I like the film. I mean, the story is really nice, and I don't doubt that the story is true. I think I am one of those people in the bubble where everything is okay. You know, I am from a bubble where, like, my family also like mixed marriage and all that, but there are no problems. You know, and if there are problems, the problems are very minor and not like in the movie. You know, and the people that I mix around with also, most of them are these kind of things don't come up lah. I mean, not that these kind of things don't come up. These are not issues lah. You know, basically I live in that society, in that Malaysian society, that bubble where everything's okay between the races and all that. But like you said lah, you know, there are people in Malaysia who are like that.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not
who
the
really
reality
live
for everyone.
very homogeneous societies in Malaysia, you know. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why like you've got issues where the Chinese Malaysians who are generations here still don't speak Malay. You know what I mean?
And it's the
and then
bubble.
there's also like Malay who generations here living in a multicultural Malaysia don't understand Chinese culture or Indian culture. You know what I mean? Because they still live in these homogeneous bubbles.
And it's not in the areas that you would think they are.
Yes,
it's very important to note that when we're talking about this, people always think that it's in
like
very
rural
remote
areas, but
actually,
no.
No.
You come to KL, you will find
just
these
come,
homogeneous bubbles
yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
You
No
know?
need to go very far.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we know people who are like that, you know, because we
they're
cross
not-
both worlds.
They're not very far away from us,
Yeah,
guys.
we we are the transitional part of that border between the Malay and the Chinese and that. So sometimes we meet some Malays and we say, holy shit, why so and then we meet some of the Chinese like, oh my god, what? So yeah, it's like that. So the story is kind of nice. It makes you think about things like this. I do have some issues with the story. Well, I do have some issues with the film, but I want to make it known that these issues that I have does not take away from the fact that this is a very good story, right? Two things really, two issues. Number one, it wasn't, the story is great, right? But I don't know, I did not get a feel of like something that should be seen in the cinema. It should be watched on TV or on a small screen like
It had a
YouTube.
very telemovie feel.
Yes,
a
it
bit,
had a very
bit.
tele-movie feel in the way the film was made and told, right? But, you know, maybe in time the director or the filmmaker can explore how to, you know, adapt stories like this for the big screen lah. Right? I mean, I don't think it's an easy thing that people can just straight away learn, you know, but so yeah, so that's one issue. Another issue is when it comes to, so it's nice that, like you said, there's grey areas, right? Not off the bat only, they're all loving a loving family already, because there are issues that they need to like get through before they eventually become a really happy family.
Yeah.
And now we all know in real life they're already grown up, married already, but they're still a family, you know. So on that side it was okay, but when it came to the bad people's side, they were so black and white,
They were
clear.
just bad.
If they're bad about everything. You know, like the kind that, oh, so I'm a mafia gang leader. If I see a baby on the road, so I kick the baby in the face. That kind of bad people, like everything about that bad person is just bad. Especially when they explore like the orphanage, the people who run the orphanage, and also like those rich people that was going to help Mike open up his business and expand his business and all that. When they're evil, they're so evil. Like there's this Dato who's supposed to be an investor who's going to invest in Mike's business. Like so evil, like minum arak, iya. Nyanyi karaoke, disco, iya. Main perempuan, iya. Everything lah. You know, like, whoa. That one was a little bit too much for me lah, you know. If you can already make the other characters have different layers, I think the bad guys also can have different layers.
Yeah, the only
You know?
the only
Yeah.
like kind of antagonist that did have kind of layers and facades or depth to it was Quinoa's character lah.
Kima's character, and also
Father.
the kakak in the orphanage.
Yeah, but she's not evil.
She's not evil, but she's an enabler.
Yeah.
You know what I
she's
mean?
an enabler.
So
Very
but-
bad.
Yeah, but which is okay because that's how human beings are. You have conflicts. You
It's
have,
also
you know?
interesting to know
Yeah.
that Uncle Mike, in this film lah, don't know in real life true or not, previously dated this girl, Nisa. So to me lah, okay, when that was being brought up, I felt like that is quite realistic as to why he would be so accepting of these boys and be so respectful to their religion, because he's always telling them to pray lah, puasa lah, whatever lah,
Yeah,
baca doa lah. So like, he has already been exposed out of that bubble
yeah.
that he grew up in by this girl.
But
Okay.
why again? There's something I understand, but it was also very hard for me to accept because I was always in a bubble where I didn't need to have a different race girlfriend to understand different races. You know what I mean? But yeah, that is what happens in Malaysia. I don't know. I'm interested to know if that was actually dramatized or actually the real thing, real issue. Another thing that I was thinking about is this story can be very well accepted because this Chinese man takes in Muslim boys, Malay Muslim boys, and never made them like change their religion or change their actually help them to be strong Malay Muslims. What if it was a different? It was different. What if you switch the roles? You know, what if
The Muslim man takes in three Chinese
three
boys.
Chinese boys confirm they will have to convert one. You know, if not they will, you know,
They have to learn to sembahyang lah, baca doa lah.
ajar lah, you know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe a Malay Muslim man takes in, and then what if that Malay Muslim man is pure enough to say, okay, I will help you, you know, continue with your parents' religion, your parents' culture. I wonder if that would be more accepted in the mainstream audience sphere lah, if he told that story, you know. I have my doubts lah. But yeah, it was interesting to see, right? Maybe someone should do an alternative universe story. Well, not an alternative universe. It's just a buried under the table society. Because I'm sure it probably does happen also.
If we get arrested, please come and hold placards for us outside the police station.
Because the thing is, I think if it's multiracial and acceptance and multiculturalism and pluralism is what we're looking at for this story, it goes all ways. Right? Yeah, it should go all ways lah, not just that lah. Yeah.
So on the note of it being very accessible, it's also important to note that when we went to watch it, it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, some nonsense. But the cinema was full
Of Malay people.
full of Malay people watching this show where quinoa is just like sweating up and down in Chinese. I loved it. I loved how everybody was kind of reacting to it. It was great.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's a good story lah.
It's very good.
At the end of the day, it's a good story.
I think, I know like what you said about the style and the treatment, yeah, it can be improved, but I really think that this is a very good catalyst film to start bringing people together to watch Malaysian films again. Kind of like what Sepet was before. This is not like Sepet level, but it's got that kind of like feel for me, you know, where it is really everybody's film. It's not like a specific to one community or targeting one audience kind of film.
Yeah. You know the scene where when he brings the boys back home and then his mother says, oh, you can call me Mama. Which is like, oh, because my kids call my mother Mama. And we were like looking at each other, hey! You know, so like, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, will you tell people to watch the film?
Yes, I will 100%
watch the
tell
film.
people to please watch this film.
Go watch the film, yeah.
I think is it still in the cinemas right now?
Probably. If not, it's an Astro production. It'll be everywhere.
Yeah. So anyway,
it will be accessible
please watch this
almost
film.
everywhere lah.
I'm checking to see if it's still in the cinemas because I just want to know.
It depends, right? They can see this 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later.
But it is still in the cinemas as of today, 15. Yeah, whatever.
Don't want to date the shows, but
I mean, So okay. Anyway, watch it wherever you can watch it. It's really worth the watch. If you like are very easily affected by feelings, then please bring tissue.
This film didn't make me cry.
I cried.
I'm a very easy crier, but
And
this
yeah, I
film didn't make
was
me cry.
crying. I demand that Moose like belanja me nasi krabu because he made me cry so much. Anyway, that's it lah.
Tell us what you think lah.
Like this video.
Don't like this video, subscribe, follow us on all our social media platforms at FAT BIDIN or go to fatbidin.com to get everything. You've been watching and listening to the FAT BIDIN Film Club. I'm assuming I'm Zan Nazli.
And I'm Shirley Bustaman.